And we're back for another episode of Rumor Central. It's been a while, guys. We've missed you. I'm Gio Ramos, your host, and I'm joined today by Jacob Bartley from ApocalypseMovies.com. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, man? Yeah, it has been a while. I was looking at our videos, and our last one says 1 month ago. So,
oh, boy.
That's crazy.
It's not like any of you noticed. But anyways, yeah, we're going to talk about rumors. Nothing official in the movie news world. Just the rumors, just the stuff that we want to see happen, but will likely not happen. We'll still talk about it. Who knows? So let's get it started. Let's talk about the biggest rumor from the past last week. The rumor has it that Marvel and Fox are talking behind closed doors about a potential superhero crossover down the road. Now, this could mean several things. It could mean Fox, all of their properties crossing over to the MCU. It could mean just X-Men crossing over to the MCU. It could mean just Fantastic Four crossing over to the MCU, or certain characters. Who knows? And then on the flip side, you know, what could Marvel possibly offer to Fox that would make Fox say, you know, I want to do a deal with you? Because as far as I know, they're going to be using a lot of their characters. So, I mean, what do you think about all this?
Well, I would say no way in hell, but we saw Sony and Marvel come to an agreement with SpiderMan. The difference here is that Sony needed Marvel to save their Spider-Man property, I think. Mm-hmm. Critically, they were not beloved. Even the first Amazing Spider-Man, which I think is a really good movie, wasn't loved by everybody. And the second one was hated by most people. Yeah. So, and also Sony as a company was kind of not doing that great, is what I've heard. So, Sony kind of needed Marvel to kind of, you know, make Spider-Man exciting again, especially among the film community and like people in the movie space. Now, Fox doesn't necessarily need Marvel. They just had a fantastic hit in Deadpool this year. Mm-hmm. And 2 years ago, X-Men Days of Future Past, phenomenal. X-Men Apocalypse isn't what they expected, both critically and financially, but it's making them money still. Yeah. So they don't. Deadpool alone is all you need to say. They don't need Marvel. But I think that in the back of everyone's minds, they're like, how cool would it be to see Wolverine in the Avengers? Even if it's not Hugh Jackman, which I hope they can make a deal soon enough to make that happen. But at the same time, I kind of don't want it to happen because I'm not worried, but I'm like, how are they going to handle so many characters in Avengers Infinity War? Mm-hmm. Like, that's a lot of characters, even if it's just the movie characters. So I can't imagine the X-Men and the Fantastic Four thrown in there as well. But I would still love to see it. The fanboy in me can't deny how exciting that would be. I don't think this is going to happen, but I wouldn't be opposed to it nor highly for it.
I think the deal for Fantastic Four is pretty much almost done. Marvel is less interested. I think they're less interested in the Fantastic Four, more interested in the villains. You have Doctor Doom, Galactus,
yes,
Molecule Man,
Silver Surfer. Those four villains alone could add so much to the MCU. Because where do they go after Thanos? I mean, yeah, you have these kind of villains, but Thanos is kind of the big bad villain. I think Doctor Doom would be a great villain for the MCU, and he could be a reoccurring villain too. And I think do it like the comics. They canceled the Fantastic Four run in the comics, but the Fantastic Four characters still exist in the comic book universe. The Thing joined the Guardians of the Galaxy. Johnny Storm, I believe he joined the Inhumans, and Reed Richards and Sue are off in space or something. So you can have you could do that similarly, where the characters, maybe just a couple of them, are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then you can use Doctor Doom as an Avengers villain.
Yeah, you see, there's so much potential right there.
What that would be, that wouldn't be them crossing over. That would be Fox giving the rights back to Marvel. Maybe Well, they already are making an X-Men TV show, so I don't know how that got approved because they didn't have the rights to do that before. So maybe the deal's already done and we just haven't heard about it yet.
Done, yeah. Who knows? Some Comic-Con news.
But as far as their X-Men properties, they don't really need Marvel. I think the X-Men franchise is going to be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Deadpool 2's a hit, we'll see what happens with X-Force. And
I like Apocalypse. I just think...
Oh, me too. I like Apocalypse too. It's just... It came out too soon when you already had BVS, Civil War. You know.
And 3 weeks after Civil War.
Yeah, you got to think about that audience fatigue, that kind of stuff. I personally think it should have came out in June,
like late June, because we don't have another superhero movie till Suicide Squad. There's a huge gap in between X-Men Apocalypse and Suicide Squad. It should have went in the middle of that.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about the next rumor. Rumor has it that Miles Morales will be the Spider-Man in the planned Sony Spider-Man movie.
Animated.
The animated, correct. Thank you. So, what do we know about this Spider-Man animated movie? Well, Phil Lord and Chris Miller are the co-writers and producers of the Spider-Man movie, the animated one. And we don't have a director as of yet. So, it's still in the early stages, but what do you think about Miles Morales getting his own Spider-Man movie, per se?
At first, I kind of want to say I don't really care. Like, why are they making a Spider-Man animated film?
Right.
But when I really think about it, well, first of all, I was opposed to this animated film in the first place because I'm like, why? They're going to have their live-action Spider-Man movies and have the character in MCU. Why do you have to make an animated one? But if you're going to do it, why not do it with Miles Morales? A character that the casual audience is not that familiar with. This will bring him in the forefront in the public eye and make him a more recognizable character. When people know who he is, they're comfortable with him a little bit more, and then eventually it opens the door for them to introduce him in live action and have him be more well known and more popular. So I think if they're gonna do it, I think it has to be Miles Morales. Why would they make a Peter Parker animated Spider-Man? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. And I mean, it's good for audience awareness because now later on down the road, when Tom Holland's done playing Spider-Man after 5 films,
and you could bring in a young guy,
Miles Morales,
to play Miles Morales.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of works for them, and it makes the Spider-Man animated movie a little bit more sense because you're getting a different Spider-Man, and it said it's supposed to be its own unique cinematic experience, whatever the hell that means. But again, Phil Lord, Chris Miller, co-writing this time, not just producing. So I mean, there's hope for this movie. I would rather see this than a Venom spin-off movie, which was like supposedly planned for like right after the first Spider-Man movie, but it won't be part of the MCU. That makes no sense.
I don't think that's true. I mean, I stated that would be so idiotic for them to make a Venom movie that's not connected to Spider-Man. Like, what the hell? Venom is synonymous with Spider-Man. You can't have Venom without Spider-Man.
But it sounds like something Sony would do, honestly.
That's like making a Joker movie that has nothing to do with Batman. Like, why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, I think that's, we'll see. That's it for Rumor Central. Short podcast. Jacob, thanks for joining me again. Let them know where they can find you online.
You can find me on Twitter at @JacobBartley_, on this Apocalypse Movies YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Really appreciate it. And you can also, if you like talking about superheroes, which it seems most of all of our Rumor Centrals are mostly about, check out my other YouTube channel, Comic Hero Talk. I review comic book movies, comic book TV shows, and actual comic books. Check that out.
All right, and I'm your host, Gio Ramos. You can find me on Twitter at GioRamos24 and ApocalypseMovies.com. Be sure to check out Movie News Podcast, Padawan Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.